I would like to first thank the people of St. Martin for upholding the principles of democracy and going out and voting in an orderly manner. It continues our established tradition here on St. Martin of fair and non-violent elections, a tradition that many around the world envy. Through this medium, I would also like to thank the persons that place their confidence in the party that I represent, and specifically my person. Once again, I am humbled by your unwavering support. Congratulations indeed goes out to our Minister Emil Lee, who has made it into the Parliament. I know you will do a great job when the moment and the time arrives. A special gratitude goes to Mr. Jason Rogers and his team of the Central Voting Bureau for the effort and work they have put into making the execution of the snap elections a success. The following departments and entities are also well deserving of praise and gratitude. The Parliament of St. Martin for providing the space so that the Central Voting Bureau can operate. The Civil Registry Department for their tirelessly efforts to ensure that everything was in place, even though it was challenging, but every election, it is a tireless effort to plan and execute accordingly. So gratitude and praises goes out to them as well. The Department of Communication, DCOM, for their efforts in ensuring that everything that was needed to be broadcast was done such and in a timely manner. VROMI, for assisting for setting up the voting booths and taking them down to ensure that schools can be resumed for the following day. I know that each time that is a tedious effort, but it was a job well done. The police, for, of course, keeping order, the prison guards, VKS, that all falls under the Ministry of Justice. I'm very much glad for the assistance that was given and to ensure the safety of this building as well during elections. The international observers, the voting district staffers and members. I know at each election it's very tedious in getting things together and counting those ballots, but nevertheless a job well done. Security staff and drivers, and I can't forget the fire department because we asked them to make sure that they control the area of the dump to ensure that there are no fires, just in case that disturbs the whole election process for persons in the Melford Hazel area and in the town area as well. And to all who have made a positive contribution, a sincere thank you, and thank you. Moving forward, elections is now behind us, and we have to continue as long as we're here still. Today, February 28th, is one of the coldest days in the Netherlands, and I'm getting some feedback from the students, and I just want to take this moment to encourage them not to give up. This too shall pass. It is expected that in the Netherlands it will be between -8 and -11 degrees in some areas. So that is pretty cold. It was very cold when we were there, and we knew that this week was going to be a very tedious week because it was going to be one of the coldest. So today sets a record, but we just want to encourage our students to keep thinking of St. Martin and keep thinking of the warm thoughts, and we're sending warm thoughts to them as well, but don't get discouraged. Moving forward, we have this week we continue talks on the structure of the project bureau that is going to be part of the World Bank projects that we're doing here in St. Martin. By the end of this week, the Legal Affairs Department and the Department of Interior Affairs and Kingdom Relations, Foreign Affairs, they are working on a draft national ordinance that should be ready the end of this week for that establishment and legalizing the basis of the National Recovery Program Bureau. We will also be having a selection committee, and besides that information, a whole package will be brought to the COM for approval so that we could set up something temporary to get things executed because, again, we have, as indicated before, we have a priority list. Those were the reasons why as well we went to the Netherlands to seek support and additional funding not additional funding, but funding to be dispersed immediately for critical projects before hurricane starts. So that process will continue, and we will keep the public updated as long as we can and for as long as we are here as this government until a new government is formed.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Here we talk about a foundation that has social housing as their portfolio. Why is it that for social housing we can secure money? Why we only can secure money for projects, as in the past for a causeway, as just recently for a new hospital, loans that have to be paid back, and there is no funding for repair of existing social housing, not even enough funding for all the homes that have been damaged so that they can be repaired. Yes, pointing to the 550 million and the 66 million that is already taken out of it because of the World Bank to administer this money. This is what they use. No, we are already sure that that amount of money will not be sufficient, because if 90% of the households in St. Martin, their homes have been affected and destroyed, that's not for the 500 homes that this proposal of the government is to construct new homes. It's not 500 new homes. It is much more that is needed, because all the other homes could not withstand such a Category 5 hurricane. And if it is true that we are heading into a new season where we can expect more and even bigger hurricanes to address, then it is of very importance for us that we see how they are going to protect we. With that said, we think that the whole issue in the discussion now about some commercial land provided to friends is distracting the people. It's of course interesting for us to follow too, but most importantly we want, especially the press and all of you, to look into what is being done for we the people, our housing situation. We in dear need of that protection, of that support. We would like to see, after this new election, people being elected that really are there for we. because all have been campaigning to vote for me.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles from within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
The Heineken Regatta is going to begin this weekend, and not only will I be encouraging everyone to come out and participate and look at it, I will also be racing on one of the boats with Mr. Bobby Velasquez, so I'm looking forward to Friday being on one of them and enjoying the race from a participant's perspective. I also would like to mention and apologize a little bit for the traffic congestion being caused in Poimpnetch with the construction on the road. I know some of the media houses have been personally affected by it. We apologize for that as well. But, you know, things have to happen, and the sewage lines have to go in, the water lines have to go in. Some of the planning has been, of course, not in the right time, but we still have to work with it. The police department is definitely participating and helping to alleviate the situation. In my discussion with Mr. Howe this morning, it was also mentioned that they were willing to provide escort services to the tour operators to make sure that all the tours got out in time, and then they would also provide escort into the back into the harbor to make sure that the visitors are not affected by it. So we're asking everyone to please be patient. We've also asked the heavy containers, the heavy transport drivers to also put their empty containers on the ring road during the day, and at night they can move them back into the harbor area. So we're again asking everybody to please be patient, and we are definitely meeting with all stakeholders to ensure that this is a smooth transition. I'd like to implore on the drivers themselves that when the light is red, especially in the evening, that you abide by that law as well, because many times they still try to come through, and then it creates a bottleneck that's already small enough, and then it makes even more congestion, and then it also does damage to the sidewalks and the plants on it as well. So please be considerate and wait in line, and we will try and remedy this situation as quick as we can. There's the upcoming Sea Trade meeting, and as well as meetings with the FCCA that we'll be traveling on Saturday to attend that. Again, joint promotional opportunities with FCCA are going to be explored. Also the shore excursions, give them an update on St. Martin and our progress. And of course, again, we have to make sure and let everyone know that St. Martin is open for business. During my meeting with the CHTA in Puerto Rico, we also touched base on the tourism e-learning workbooks. These are for elementary schools. It's a tourism-based program for children between the ages of 6 to 11. This program will introduce our youngsters to tourism through exciting learning materials such as videos and fun exercises. Of course, many times I think people take tourism for granted. I think it's important that we start to change that mindset, and what better place to begin than with our young children and our young students, and that they understand the importance of tourism as they grow older so that it will be ingrained in them, and we don't have to, try to teach them anything different. So we're going to purchase a few of them. We're going to meet with our colleague minister and the ministry as well to go through the material, make sure that it's in line with what we would like the message to be. And then after that, hopefully coming for the upcoming school year, that it will be introduced. I believe it's important. And I look forward to, of course, the cooperation, because understanding how government works, it's not that tourism forces anything. I believe ministries have to understand the importance of working together, and that's the way St. Martin will progress, especially during this time of recovery.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
I see you have a tube in front of you there. Maybe you could explain what that does.
We just went to, with my colleague from the vector control here, we went to a high school, and we think it's very important to not have a theoretical explanation what mosquitoes are, but that you can show the people what mosquitoes are, that you have some knowledge about the biology. And it's not to know how to breed mosquitoes, but if you know something about the biology of mosquitoes, you also have an idea how you can encounter them and to intervene that they cannot breed everywhere. And we had, next to adults, because these are adult mosquitoes, we also had larval mosquitoes, and that is a good example from how kids can look in their own yard and search for mosquitoes, because it's something that you usually don't do. So you have to be a little bit instructed how you can find mosquitoes, and they had good fun with it. And live mosquitoes and live animals is much more instructive. And me and my American colleague had a little bit of competition in the classroom, because we had a little incubator where we released these mosquitoes, and we both exposed one of our arms and see which of our arms was more attractive to the mosquitoes, and we let ourselves bit. So these mosquitoes have been eating either American or Dutch blood.
Well, as all of my colleagues here have expressed, this has been a tremendous week thus far to really engage and share information and learn from what other people and other islands, other regions, how they are addressing the challenges that Irma and the remains of Irma are causing. And I want to stress now that as we move forward and as we develop the plans of action to combat these public health challenges, that we really take an integrated and a collaborative approach on many levels. One, this room this week represents a form of collaboration from many countries and many organizations, all wanting to help and to think through these challenges together. That's one level of collaboration. Another is on the government side here in St. Martin, of how the different organizations can work together and the different programs can work together with existing businesses and other local organizations. And then finally, that the community, that really the citizens are part of this process. And we need your help. And this is a collaborative effort. And unfortunately, while Irma was not anyone's fault, it is now all of our responsibility to step forward and to do what we can to help ourselves and to help our neighbors. And so we ask that everyone keeps that in mind and has that in the forefront of their mind as we continue to roll out our plans here on St. Martin.
So, on one hand, of course, election day has come and gone, and the work continues. And as I have stressed many times on this podium, our jobs continue during this interim period, and has been the guide through the critical recovery stage, while we have to make sure that we secure the necessary repairs and the proper disaster management plans that have to be in place to prepare for the next hurricane season. So therefore, indeed, the work does not stop. And I will therefore also continue, as your minister, to continue that work, because that was the mandate that was provided to the entire cabinet, and therefore also to me, and I will continue to work with the ministry to ensure that all preparations and safety matters are taken care of as long as we are here in office. I will be indeed very brief today with some of the initiatives and progress made. First of all, of course, in communicating with the Department of Education, it has been confirmed that there were indeed no reported issues with any of the schools that were used as polling stations on Monday, and that all schools indeed were able to resume their normal operations on Tuesday. I would therefore like to thank those that made sure that there was indeed minimal amount of interruption as possible, because of course we were already affected with so many outages throughout the last couple of months. In addition, I would also like to use this podium to send out a reminder to teachers, administrative and management staff of schools for the upcoming information session held with the General Pension Fund Thursday, March 1st from 3 until 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. This session has been organized especially for those interested in owning their own homes, as APS will be given the opportunity to do a presentation on their housing project, a project designed especially for civil servants, and we shouldn't forget that indeed teachers are part of the civil servants corps, and therefore a very critical group within our society that we have to service and that we have to secure. It is an excellent opportunity for qualified persons to make, indeed, and maybe take the next step towards home ownership and alleviate some of the pressure of having to continually pay, even now, higher rent costs, an issue that continues to be the cry of many at the schools and persons in the general community as well. And as I mentioned earlier, of course, we all have been informed that the teachers have indeed been negatively affected. It is my responsibility, therefore, as Minister of Education, to secure the situation and their well-being, and housing has been expressed to be a very critical one. The session will be held at the Bel Air Community Center this Thursday, and as seating indeed is limited, kindly you are requested to RSVP. It is encouraged, and that can be sent to beverlymay.nisbet@stmartingov.org. A reminder has also been sent to all school boards as well, and you are kindly therefore requested to, the school boards are requested to encourage and remind their teachers to use the opportunity. In addition to that, on Friday past, February 23rd, a follow-up stakeholder session was held at the University of St. Martin. After weeks of individual meetings with these organizations, myself, cabinets, management of the ministry, it was the right time for everyone to join together again and discuss where we now stood in relation to the ministry's resilience plan as approved. We were able to, of course, be informed by critical staff members, the Secretary General, about the progress with the World Bank, possibility for low-hanging, as we call them, low-hanging fruits and priority projects that will need secured funding, and that went very well. We also, of course, used the meeting to be also encouraged by the proactive nature of some of those stakeholders, including school boards. I've been encouraged by, for instance, the Seventh-day Adventist school, by the Catholic School Board, by MPC, by the library, because all those stakeholders have displayed proactive initiatives to secure their interests, such as the repairs, as some of these schools have been heavily damaged and affected. Of course, all these initiatives are, and all these school boards and stakeholders have expressed that they will go the extra mile to secure their services, whether it's rendering schooling, education, or, for instance, library services can be secured for the community at large. We were therefore able to discuss also the possibilities that we have outside the settlement of the insurance claim, or indeed the funds available through the trust fund or the priority funds, as some of these schools have expressed, that if indeed government is able to maybe pay some of those outstanding funds that we actually as government owe, they can go and stretch it further and even can secure some of their repairs before the availability of disbursement of insurance claims. And that's encouraging, because I believe it is critical and very important that we show what we are able to do ourselves before, of course, seeking additional opportunities through loans and alike.